Hey, Genesis family. This week's word of encouragement is Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 through 34. Jesus says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they? Could any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow? They do not labor or spin, yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed as one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you as well. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Since spring began a couple months back, I have been spending more time outdoors, enjoying the benefits of warm weather. I love to sit on my deck and listen to the birds sing joyfully in the morning from treetops, and I have watched as dormant plants first began to bud and now have bloomed into a vast array of colors. And the two word pictures that Jesus presents in our text today have occupied my mind as I have meditated on these beautiful signs within creation. Birds and flowers. They teach us that God has an abundance of resources to provide for all that he cares for. If you've ever watched a bird build a nest and then care for her little babies while they're in the nest, it is a fascinating process. There's work involved for the bird. The bird has to go get one twig at a time and weave them together to create a nest. And then after laying the eggs and watching over them, once they hatch, the bird has to go out and get the food and bring it back to her babies. What it teaches us is that there's an abundance of provision within the world that God has made. And that's just for one of the many, many birds, which is just one of the many, many creatures that God provides for. Jesus uses this word picture of God's provision to teach us that too oftentimes we operate life from a scarcity mindset. Too oftentimes we think that there's only so much out there, so I better run and get it before somebody else does, because if I don't, it will not be there for me. That is a place of insecurity, and Jesus tries to teach us from this action of creation that there's an abundance of provision available. Yes, there's some work involved in securing it, but our security is in God, who provides richly for us all. Then there's the flowers of the field and the beauty of those flowers that for just a moment in time emerge within this season. I think of tulips. Tulips bloom for just a couple weeks within a year, and yet there is so much beauty involved and so much glory from God in it. And God provides for even that. It's a beautiful testament to how valuable you and I are, and how the signs of creation and God's abundant care for everything within creation teaches us to trust in our Heavenly Father. I've been impressed with this over these last couple weeks, so much so, especially the words of Jesus when he says, your Heavenly Father feeds them, and your Heavenly Father knows what you need. Jesus talked about God in terms of a father figure for us, one who plays a fatherly role. Jesus made God the Father accessible to us, teaching us about his watch care. This has transformed my thinking so much that I have now begun my prayers with Abba, addressing God in the most intimate of fatherly terms. That's how Jesus prayed to God. He called him Father, and he told us that his Father is our Father, and our Father knows what we need and cares for us and provides for us. So I hope this will encourage you that for whatever uncertainties you might be living in, whatever insecurities about the future, whatever questions have not yet been answered about what lies ahead for you, that you do not have to run and chase after things. that you can trust the process. You can get what you need from God moment by moment because He loves you and He cares for you. I hope to see you Sunday.